This is Gemara Baba, not Baba Kama. This is Amud Yomi Gemara Berachos, Daf Lamed Aleph, Amud Beis. We pick it up in the bottom of Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph. We are 4 lines from the bottom at the 2 dots. Says the Gemara, we mentioned the famous Tfilas Chana yesterday. So says the Gemara today, let's delve a little bit deeper into the conversation that Chana famously had with Elia Kohen. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Hamnuna, Kama hilchasa gevirta ikal mishma mehani karai dechana. How many incredible halachas can we learn from the psukim of Chana? Says the pasuk v'chanihi midaberes aliba. Chana was literally talking in her heart. Mikan leisbal sar shechavin liba. From here we learn you need to have kavana. Raks v'seh na'is, only her lips were moving. Mikan leisbal she'achtuch b'svasav. For here we learn out the one who davens should pronounce the words with his lips. And her mouth was not able, and the voice, was not able to be heard. Mikan, just like shouldn't raise your voice. And Eli thought that she was drunk. Mikan shikar asilis balel. Fair, we learned that a shikar is not allowed to daven. Continues the Gemara of Eli and Eli says the Chana, until when are you going to be a drunkard? Amar Rav Elazar, Mikan, what do we see from over here? L'raya v'chaveira, as we turn over to Lamed Aleph Amabez, Davar she'ino yahagun tzarich le'chichai. You see your friend doing something wrong, you got to give him musar. Continues the Gemara Vatan, Chana v'taimer lo'yadayni. And Chana answers to Eli, and she says, no, it's not true. She said to Eli, you're not my master in this matter. Clearly, you, Eli, do not have Ruach HaKodesh. Because you're chayshed, you suspect that I'm drunk, and it's indeed not true. It's like a way of learning what Chana said to Eli. This is what Chana said to Eli. Are you not an Adon? You're not a master? Do you not, is the Shechina, do you not have Ruach HaKodesh? Eli, why are you judging me l'kav chayva? It's not true. Mili yadata, do you not know that I'm a woman with a kshas with an aggrieved spirit? I'm a mourning woman wanting a child. That's the reason why it appears that I am a shikaira. But of course, I am not drunk at all. Continues the psukim v'yan v'yishecha lo yishasisi, and Chana says to Eli, wine and any other alcoholic beverages I did not drink. Here we see the flip. So Eli had a chiyuv teichacha. Chana had a chiyuv to say no, that if someone suspects you, you have an obligation to set it straight and show that you did not do anything wrong. Do not think that your maidservant, Chana referring to herself as a bas Belial, is a base woman, is a low woman. Amar Rav Elazar teaches Rav Elazar, Mikan, what do we learn out from over here? The shikar shemizval kilu ovid avodah zara. When a shikar davens, it's as if he is ovid avodah zara. Ksiv hachal lefnei bas Belial, ksiv hasam yatu anasha b'nei Belial b'kirbecha. The b'nei Belial have emerged from your midst, saying, let's go worship other gods. Malhalan avodah zara, avkan avodah zara. The terrible destruction of davening intoxicated. And Eli answers to Chana, go in peace. We see over here that Eli suspects there was something incorrectly. So what do you do afterwards? You have to make them feel better. Give her a bracha. Not only that, you got to give them first. You got to make them feel good. Secondly, you got to give them a bracha. Eli says to her that Hashem should answer your tefillah. Continues the Gemara 4 lines from the white lines. Chana makes a neder and she says, Hashem zivakais, Amar Rav Elazar miyim shabarak kadosh baruch hu aseilah, ma'ilei adam shekar soli kadosh baruch hu savakais. No one ever referred to Hashem as savakais. Ad shabasa Chana v'krasa savakais. Until Chana comes and calls Hashem savakais. Amar Chana v'nei kadosh baruch hu From all the tzavakos, from all the legions that you've created, in your world, kasha beinecha, is it difficult in your eyes? All I want is one little child. He makes a party for his servants. One honey comes up and Pesach stands for the door. He says to them, give me one piece of bread. They don't listen to him. He pushes, he goes all the way up to the king. And Amar Allah, he says to the king, Adayni Amelech. Mikola Suda Shasita, all this incredible Suda that you made. Kasha beinecha litli prusa achas. All I want is one little bit of bread, one little piece. Parenthetically, we learned recently in Sharon B'Tfilah, this is a special type of tefillah. This is a special type of tefillah over here that we learn that special type of tefillah that you could debate, that you could literally demand from Hashem. Of course, has to be utilized appropriately, etc., etc. Continues the Gemara. Imras Yireh. Chana continues to daven, and she says, if you take note of the suffering, what does it mean? Ros Yireh. Amar Rav Elazar. Amar Chana. Lavnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabbeinu Shalom. Ira Mutaf. If you listen, then great. V'im lav tireh. And if not, I'm going to force it. I'm going to go and I'm going to seclude myself with another man in front of Elkanah, my husband, and he's to suspect me of being mizaneh. He's going to give me kino. He's going to give me stira. He's going to make me into a saita. And what's going to happen? They can give me the waters of the saita to drink. And we know what happens next. We have to ice it to plaster. Hashem, you're not going to make your Torah into something that's not true. Shenemar, v'niksa, v'nizra zara. And if a woman wasn't mizaneh and she suspected falsely, what happens? She gets the incredible bracha that she has a child. According to the Mandamer, that says that what's the outcome of a saita, that if she was an akar, if she didn't have any children, then she'll be remembered. Shabir, then all is good. El Mandamer, have a fabulous day. The Revach, then no, it just means that birth will be easier. Nekevas, you let the Zecharim, Shcharim, you let the Sylvanim, Ksarim, you let the Arukim, Michael, and Meimar. What is Chana's tefillah to mean? Titania, as we learned in a Bryce of Nixov and Israel Zara, explains the Gemara, this is the Machlekes, how Saita works. We learned in a Brisa. We're about 8 lines into the very wide lines. The first line is Viniksa, that she should be proven innocent and then she'll have children. Malami if she couldn't have children, she'll indeed have a child of Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Akiva says him, Cain, if this is true, says Rabbi Akiva, Mamish what Chana was saying. Yelchul kol hakares kulam yistatru. Anyone who can't have a child, what are they going to do? They're going to go and they're going to seclude themselves. And if she didn't actually do the Aveira, and she'll be remembered and she'll have a child. Al-Malami, it says Rabbi Akiva argues and Rabbi Yishmael, Shemaisa yoledz b'tzar yoledz b'revach, Yitzarim yoledz harukish, Chayim yoledz avanim echad yoledz shnayim. So ask the Gemara, according to Rabbi Akiva, how do we darshan? What does Chana mean? Mayim ra asira, dibrei Torah kalashim ne'adam. Torah talks with that people talk. The Chana just used the double lashon to show the desperate measures that she was in, how desperately she wanted a child. 10 lines into the wide lines, we're at the 2 dots. Continues the Gemara. Ba'ani amasecha, lo yisishkach es amasecha. Says Chana, the suffering of your maidservant, do not forget your maidservant. Give your maidservant. Why did Chana mention maidservant 3 times? You've created 3 ways of checking literally a woman for death. And some say 3 things that are connected to death. Says Chana, was I over on even one of them? Absolutely not. So says Chana, there's no reason that I should have death. Kaviyachol, give me a child. And give your maidservant male children. My Zeranashim, Amaravra Gavra Begovrin, a man amongst men, Shmuel Amar, Zera Shameshech Shnei a Zera that will anoint 2 different kings. Umainon Shal David, Rav Yechon Amar, a 3rd pshat. Zera shashakol kishnei anashim, a child that's worth Two Anashim, Ma'inod, Moshe V'Aaron, Shneim, Moshe V'Aaron, B'chayna, V'Shmuel, V'Kari Shemai. Shmuel was equal to Moshe V'Aaron. V'Rabbanan Amri, Zera Anashim, Zera Shemov, Labin Anashim. That is absorbed, they'll be regular amongst the people. Kiasar Avdimi Amar, that Shmuel was the Aris Logots, was neither tall, no short, lo katav, lo alin, thin or wide, lo sachav, lo gichar, pallid, or has a thicker complexion, lo chacham, lo tipesh. So Chana's tefillah finally, Baruch Hashem, comes true. Chana comes home and gives birth to Shmuel. Continues the pasuk. Ani ha'isha ani tzeves ibachem hazeh. Chana comes back to the Mishkan in Shiloh, comes and talks to Eli and says, I'm the woman who stood here davening to Hashem. I'm Rav Shua ben Levi. Mikan, what do we see from over here? Shasal leishe b'teich arba amos shel tefillah. You're not allowed to sit within someone who's in 4 amos of davening, as that what the pasuk says, Hanitzeves imachem, stood with you, that within 4 amos you can't sit down. Elanar says, Valalti, says Chana, those famous words, this is the child that I davened for. Amar Rav Lazar, Shmuel, Meir Alachnei Rabbi Isa. Shmuel eventually was guilty that he passed in front of his Rebbe, Shenemar, V'yishchatu Sabar V'yivius Anaraz Eleli. They shechted the par and they brought the child to Eli. What's going on over here? Ella, Amr Lam Eli said, bring a kayin, let her bring a carbon. Chazanu Shmuel. So Shmuel, this little child, is sitting there and he sees that they're looking for a kayin to shech the carbon. Amr Lahu, little Shmuel says, why are you going to look for a kayin? Shechitav is our kosher. Sheira. I see, look how many daily they brought the kids to Eli. Amr Leim and Allah. So Eli said, how do you know? How do you know that Yisrael's allowed to do shechita? Amr Leim miksiv v'shachat ha'kayin. There's a pasuk to shachat ha'kayin. Ve'ekrivu ha'kahanim kisiv. Mikabal ve'elach mitzvahs kunim mikan the shechita kisher bezer. Bizarre. Yisrael's allowed to do shechita. Amr Leim. Eli says, maybe Shabbat Kamri, you're saying very good. Mihu, but still, Meir alach b'fnei Rabba chata. You paskin in front of your Rebbe. Chlamar alach b'fnei Rabba chayim misa. Asya Chana. So Chana hears this, he comes over, starts crying. Ani Aisha, I was the woman, and he says, and this is my child. Forgive him. Amar le, Shivki li denche, allow me to punish him. Allow me to punish him. And I'll daven for Hashem, and I'll give you a son even greater than this one. Amar le, she says, Alanar hazeh. Ispalalti. No, she says to Eli, it's this child that I davened for. And the story continues. V'chani medaberes aliba, going back to the original tefillah of Chana, and with this we conclude. Amar Rav Lazar Mishav Yosef ben Zimra al iski liba. Chana davened for matters physically on her heart. Amar lafana rabbanim shalom komash brasav ish lo beraso davar echal levatala. Everything you created was not for Noah. Teinayim lirois esnayim l'shmaya chaytim lariach pele dabi yadayim nasis b'malacha raglayim lahalich b'hem dadim lahanik b'hem dadim halalu. Chana turns to Hashem and says, my dadim, my breast, and azata alibi lama loy lahanik b'hem tenli ben v'enik b'hem. Give me a child and I'll nurse with them. V'amar Rav Elazar. And finally, Mishav Yosef ben Zimra Kedusha b'Tenis b'Shabbos, an unrelated matter, but just because it's said over by Rav Elazar in the name of Yosef ben Zimra, anyone who sits in fasting on Shabbos currently Gzardina shel Shivim Shana Vafal Bikein Chayziv Nefram in Einig Shabbos. It's true, a fast on Shabbos is so incredible, but you still have to pay back Einig Shabbos. Might take Hante Amar Nachman Reyitzak Leisiv Tanis Tadanisi. You have to fast another fast for the fact that you were avater on Einig Shabbos, that you fasted on Shabbos. Amar Lazar Chana Hiticha Dvarim Klabei Maila Shenemar Yisrael Al Shem Lami Sheticha Dvarim Klabei Maila. She davened without respect, and we'll stop over here. We'll pick it up from Rav Lazar in seeing more stories of Hitiach Dvarim Klabei Maila in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.